A few of my friends sent me messages this morning, requesting me to give my opinion regarding Sinéad O'Connor, an Irish singer converting to Islam. Well, who is this Sinéad O'Connor? To be honest, I don't think I ever heard her playing any music or song, so I don't know much about her. Well, at least until this morning. So I tried to know this Sinéad O'Connor. Who is this Sinéad O'Connor who hit the BBC headline news? The BBC made a caption that Sinéad O'Connor converts to Islam, and she changed her name to Shuhada David. Then I went to her Twitter page. I saw Sinéad O'Connor singing the azan. She was literally singing, making hand gestures and all, making more body moves, and she was trying to sing the azan. First of all, a woman is not allowed to call for the Islamic prayer, so that's a violation of Islamic ritual. So this is not permitted that a woman, muazzin, that's what you call, a muazzin should call the Muslims to prayer. So it is not right, it is not allowed, it is not in practice for a Muslim woman to call Muslims to prayer. So that's a violation to begin with. Now, Sinéad O'Connor, I found out that she was, moderately known singer. She changed her name quite a few times. Only a few years ago, she named herself Magada David. Now she is calling herself Shuhada David because she converted to Islam. In one of the interviews with Oprah Winfrey in America, she was a dyke. That means lesbian, masculine lesbian. Now that is definitely against Islam. I don't know whether she knows much about Islam or she read much about Islam before converting to Islam. And I don't know why she converted to Islam. I would love to know. But lesbians are to be stoned to death. Homosexuals are to be stoned to death in Islam, and because that's in practice. Even if you can say that's not in the Quran, but that's in practice. And this is serious sin in Islam. It's a serious sin in Islam to be a lesbian, to be homosexual. Serious sin. So that's another problem that she might have. And I also find out that she said she would be shaving off her hair as long as she would live. But that's another violation, because a woman is not allowed even to cut her hair over her shoulders. So I saw that she was wearing some kind of like a headscarf, and she was trying to hide the fact that she was still probably shaven head. And now she is definitely not allowed to shave off her hair anymore, and not even allowed to cut her hair below her shoulder, above her shoulder, sorry. And she's not even, shaving off her hair is out of the question. Now this Sinéad O'Connor, she comes from a very troubled family. She claimed that she was abused by her parents, which her own brother denied. That although he said that their mother was very tough, but still her own brother denied any wrongdoing by their father. So Sinéad O'Connor comes from a very troubled past. So she also said that she wanted everybody to not to interfere, not to bother her, and not to and to allow her to find her self-esteem. Sinéad O'Connor was against the Pope, and she protested against Catholic Church's role in child abuse scandals. And she is pro-refugee children, at least pro-refugee children. That's what I found out. I don't know whether she knows that in the Muslim world, people are not very recipient of refugees. They're not very recipient. They're not very welcoming. Look at the Rohingya issue. Although Bangladesh had to shelter thousands, hundreds and thousands of Rohingyas, still many Muslim nations around the region did not accept the Rohingyas. That's why Muslim refugees from many Muslim nations, they do not go to rich Muslim countries. They take a huge risk to come to the Western countries, non-Muslim, Christian majority or atheist majority countries. And I don't know whether she's aware that Muslim world has the same, probably the worst, far worse situation than Catholic child abuse scandal has, problem is. For example, in Bangladesh, we have reports of thousands of children getting sexually abused at madrasas, Islamic schools, and mass media usually do not talk about this, do not make report on these issues, and there is no government involvement in protecting the children, because Islam, indirectly approves of sexual violence against children. Because if Sinéad O'Connor converted to Islam because she fell in love with refugees, well, I am someone who is a migrant, and I left the Muslim world because I could not live as a human being in a Muslim world. And I cannot speak my mind in the Muslim world. And I'm fighting here in the UK to make sure that we do not lose our freedom of speech to Islamism, which we are slowly but surely losing it. When it comes to Islam, it seems that Islam enjoys immunity from any kind of criticism, and we are surrendering to Islamism. Now, coming back to the issue of child abuse, I don't know how she accepts Muhammad to be a character to be emulated for all times, who had sex with a 9-year-old when he was 53. How he encouraged his own followers to marry young girls so that they could play with them. I don't know how she accepts this or condones that. And I don't also know how she can accept that Islam, once you put your feet in, you cannot get out. Did she read the life of Muhammad? I know she was married for the 4th time, but does she know that Muhammad had concubines? Muhammad had 9 wives. He used to have sex one after another on the same night. How did she accept all those, being a woman? Did she really read the biography, the most authentic biography of the Islamic Prophet Muhammad? Did she read the hadith? Did she read the geopolitics? How does she accept hatred against the Jews and the Christians filled in the Quran? How does she accept non-Muslims to be worst creatures on the face of the earth, as the Quran claims? And does she really accept non-Muslims to be unclean? Because the Quran says so. And how did she accept the name or adopt the name Shuhada, which comes from the root word Shaheed, martyr? Does she know that Islam tries to build up every Muslim as a member of a suicide squad? Because the main purpose of a Muslim's life is to be martyred. That's the main purpose. Because whenever Muhammad's warriors went to war and they came back, they were crying to Muhammad, why on earth they didn't get killed? Because they would have then got the prestige of a shaheed hereafter. How does she accept that there will be virgins, sexual pleasurers in heaven, 72 for every man. How doesn't she find that to be degrading? How does she accept? How does she really accept that Muhammad wanted to divorce his wife, Sauda, because she appeared to be ugly, she appeared to be growing old. And Muhammad himself was middle-aged, and she was much younger than him. And Sinéad O'Connor has passed that age. Isn't that an insult for her age as well? Seriously. So, Sinéad O'Connor is a woman confused, and the Muslims are rejoicing her conversion to Islam. But the question is, do they really know what Sinéad O'Connor stands for? Do they really know her background? And how come Muslims know them? Isn't music haram in Islam? So how come when I don't even know about Sinéad O'Connor, they know Sinéad O'Connor very well, and they're rejoicing about it? And I saw Muslim scholars putting up photos of her and announced that Sinéad O'Connor converted to Islam. Hey, how come Sinéad O'Connor is a celebrity to you? Now, why on earth BBC made it a headline news when BBC never makes a headline news when somebody leaves Islam? For example, Leslie Snipes, world famous Hollywood actor. He was a Muslim for 10 years. Then he left Islam. Did BBC make it a headline? No. Thousands of Muslims like us living Islam every day. Is BBC making a headline of this? No. No. Because BBC is afraid of Islam. And now when, my friends ask me, and Mufassil, how come it's happening? Well, it's happening because all the nutcases many of the nutcases, like Sinéad O'Connor, it's a nutcase, she's a nutcase. When she converts to Islam, sings O Azan, violating Islamic rituals and rules and laws, even showing her chest up to here, because it's a straight violation of the Quran instruction that Quran says you should rather have jalbab around your shoulder. That proves without a question. This woman, Sinéad O'Connor, converted to Islam, allegedly, without knowing shit about it. She knows nothing about Islam. She knows nothing about Muhammad. And if she ever wants to change her mind and wants to leave Islam, she will either have to keep her mouth shut, or there's a big possibility she may even become a victim of witch hunting by serious type of Muslims. Well, that's my opinion about her.